Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me is Jeff Buchbinder, Equity Strategist with LPL Financial, to discuss the 3 things to watch this earnings season. Jeff, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill. Good to be with you.
And Jeff, companies will start to report second quarter earnings in earnest this week after remarkable performance during first quarter earnings season, delivering an encore. Will that please investors? Will that be enough? Do you think this is as good as it gets?
Well, Jill, it is as good as it gets in terms of growth rates, right? We could see 75% earnings growth this quarter, maybe even higher, because remember, we're coming off of the year ago period in lockdowns. So that's going to be just a massive number. The big question, though, is what happens over the rest of the year? Can estimates go even higher? Remember, we've been essentially all year just raising estimates continuously, week after week after week. There's tremendous earnings momentum right now, and that won't just stop on a dime. So we're optimistic we can still go higher in terms of earnings estimates in the second half, but certainly recognize that sure, in terms of growth rates, this is as good as it gets.
And there's been difficulty finding workers, and that has hindered the job recovery. What's your outlook for employment going forward?
Sure. There's certainly a lot of reasons to be optimistic that we'll get a lot more jobs over the next several months, right? When all parents go back to work, we get hopefully everybody comfortable with the COVID risks, certainly. And then, companies are just going to get more and more confident in the outlook. They're still holding something back. There's still certainly some uncertainty here in terms of the economic outlook. But we think we'll get those million job a month gains in the second half. It's just probably going to have to wait until the fall.
And related to hiring, but broader, is the stickiness of inflation. What are you looking for there?
Sure. Yeah. So, it's easy to be confident that companies are going to generate a lot of revenue growth, right? In fact, this could be one of the strongest quarters of revenue growth ever. But the tougher question is what's going to happen with margins. Right. A lot of industries are experiencing cost pressures. It'd be really important to see whether those cost pressures translate into higher prices for companies, which could slow demand, or whether that those cost pressures can be sort of absorbed. So we'll be watching margins really closely this quarter to see if companies can offset some of those price pressures that they're seeing right now.
All right, Jeff, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.